Hi, as part of the CPQ deep dive, let's talk about percent of total. What exactly is percent of total? Now, there are some products where the pricing of that product is not necessarily a fixed price, but it's dependent on other products. So, short definition here could be a pricing strategy where specific items price is calculated as a percentage of the total deal value or a specific subset of the deal's components. So, let's try and understand first what these products are. An example here could be an extended warranty on a car purchase. So here, the extended warranty does not necessarily have a fixed price. Instead, it's a percentage. So when they say it's going to be 5% of the total value of the car, the same car model with different trims, for example, if one comes at $20,000, the 5% of that could result in $1,000 as an extended warranty price. And if you have additional trims or a different model, and if it costs $30,000, then the extended warranty, the same product, could then cost $1,500. So you get the difference here, right? So the pricing of the product is now different based on which other product is being purchased. One more example here is comprehensive insurance coverage. Again, when we talk about insurance coverage in terms of car or even health insurance for that matter, the insurance premium is determined by the price of the car. So when they say it's 2% of your car's price, if a car costs $20,000, the comprehensive coverage here would be $400 that you pay every month, right? So you get this idea. So any products where the pricing is determined by the percentage of other products. Now, sales commissions also can be seen as an example here, where the commission paid could be based on the gross profit. So if a car salesman sells a car and makes $1,000 profit, right, with a 10% commission, he would be earning a commission of $100. Whereas if he is able to generate a $12,000 gross profit, then his commission would increase to $1,200. All right, now that we have a fairly good understanding of what a percent of total product and its pricing is, let's now take one more example and see how the behavior is in Salesforce CPQ. We'll run a few scenarios. So to start with, I want you to visualize that we have an electronic retail store which sells PC monitors, CPUs, keyboards, right? All the PC products and headphones and all the other electronic accessories. So let's suppose there are these products here, right? The CPU costs $200, price for the monitor is $200, $100 for the keyboard, $50 for the price, right? And some software products as well, right? The Office Home and Student Edition, which is, let's say, $100 one-time product. Whereas there's also an annually recurring subscription of $100 per year for Microsoft Office 365 and $10 per month for an antivirus software product, right? So with these, if suppose a customer wants to purchase some of these products, right? The monitor, CPU, keyboard, mouse, headphones, the list price totals to $650. So if we have a warranty product, and if suppose we set the price as 10% of the other products, right? If it's set as a percent of total, then it would be 10% of $650, which is $65. So the total on this quote should be $715. Now, in order to do this, specifically within Salesforce CPQ, but in general, any CPQ solution should have provision to configure a percent of total product because it's very commonly used in the industry, right? We'll see how this works in Salesforce CPQ. There are a couple of fields on the product object that need to be considered. There is a field called pricing method, which is a pick list value. So for the warranty product, we need to set that pick list value pricing method to percent of total. So this indicates to the system that this product's pricing is based on other products. There's also a field called percent of total percentage. We need to set the desired percentage value here to indicate what percentage should be charged, right? So we'll see that here in the product page. I'll just pull up the product warranty that's been configured. So I've just added just enough details for us to have this demo functional. So there is this field called pricing method. So that has been set to percent of total. This is the pick list field that I was talking of. And we also have a percent of total percentage. So here I have specified that it's going to be 10%. Okay. So with this, now if we have to go and configure Salesforce CPQ, let's say that we have a quote and we configure the same products that we have here. We could add products, and let's say we want the monitor, CPU, keyboard, mouse, headphones, and then we also want to add the warranty product. Now I have used the same pricing as has been in the PDF here. So once we go ahead and add these products, the total also comes down to $715 as we saw in the PDF document, right? Pretty straightforward. Now, let's suppose that the customer is requesting for additional discounts, right? So I'll save this quote and then add a few discounts to show how this could result in a couple of different options when it comes to determining the warranty price product, right? So let me just go ahead and make those changes in my iPad, and then I'll pull the quote real quick here. So let's suppose we give a 20% discount on the monitor, 20% on the CPU, 10% on the keyboard, and let's say a whopping 40% discount on the mouse and no discount on the headphones. Okay, so now if I were to pull the quote up again, So given a 20% discount on monitor and CPU, 10% on the keyboard, 40% on the mouse. So the total here now is 605. So this is now different from the 715 that we saw earlier. Okay. One thing to note is the warranty price is still keeping the total of the list price. So it's saying $65 because it is considering the list price for calculation. But what if we do not want the list price to be considered? In this case, we want the net price to be considered of each line items to determine the pricing. Right? So there is a field called percent of total base. Hi there. I hope you're enjoying and benefiting from this video. I have some exciting news to share with you. We are now accepting applications for the next batch of our highly anticipated mentoring program, CPQ Like a Pro. In just 7 weeks, you will dive deep into over 50 plus similar topics in an intense and immersive learning experience meticulously designed to help you transform from a Salesforce consultant into a Salesforce CPQ consultant. By the end of these 45 days, you will have a rock-solid foundation, the required confidence and expertise to contribute significantly to CPQ projects, unlocking a new level of conversation with your peers, customers, employers, and prospective employers, setting yourself apart in this competitive field. Now, this is going to be an absolute game changer. I have distilled a decade of my Salesforce ecosystem knowledge and 21 years of IT experience into easily digestible, actionable insights. Our small, exclusive group will connect multiple times a week, with each session lasting 90 minutes to a couple of hours. Together, we'll tackle key topics, understand their business impact, explore the best practices for configuring them in Salesforce CPQ, and the cohorts will then take these hands-on assignments to work offline, referring to videos such as the one that you are watching for reference, and complete them before the next catch-up. On Saturdays, we will be catching up for a Q&A session where we will revisit these topics covered during the week, going over any questions to get everyone up to speed. With multiple mini projects along the way, you have great exposure to what a real-world CPQ projects look like. So, if you're ready to elevate your skills, this is your invitation to work directly with me. With hands-on assignments and multiple mini projects, this program is crafted to push you out of your comfort zone and master configuration, pricing, and quotation like a pro. Plus, we will cover the basics of revenue lifecycle management, RLM in short, to get you an overview of what RLM is all about and how to prepare for it so you are well prepared to maximize your contribution to the Salesforce ecosystem by mastering these essential functionalities. Remember, due to the interactive nature of this program, seats are limited and they have started to fill up. Alright, if you're all set to take your Salesforce skills to a whole new level, just drop me a DM. We'll see how we can work together. Let's get back to this video. Now what this does is, when we give discounts like these, rather than taking the 10% off of 650, we would like for the system to take 10% off of the 540, which is the discounted price, which becomes 54, and we would like to see 594 as the total, not 750. So there is a field here called percent of total base, again a pick list value. By default, it is set to list price. Now, if we go ahead and change this to net price, again, we cover a lot of these pricings in the pricing waterfall, but net price is the final price after all the discounts have been provided. So when that is set to net price, then we are essentially instructing the CPQ system to take the percent of total value off of the net price. So let's go ahead and make that change here real quick. All right, so I'm now going to pull up the warranty product. Okay, and then we will. So here's the percent of total field, percent of total base, percent of total base. It's currently been set to list price. So if you go ahead and make the changes to set it to net price, we should see a difference in the pricing. So just going back here to the quote once again, what we are seeing as the quote total is, this is still $65, but what we want is $54 because all of this totals to 540. So we'll go ahead and make that change in the warranty product. Okay. So percent of total base, I'm going to set this to net price. And let's see. Did I set it? Okay, it's been set. So we'll go ahead and save this. All right, so now when we want to pull up the quote once again, what we'll do is I will delete this product and reload this product so that way the actual pricing is now pulled up. So the quote total now is 540. So when we add the warranty product now, it should basically pull the pricing based off of the net total. There you go. So you can see that the price has now changed. It's $54 because it's trying to get a 10% of the $540, hence 594. Okay. In our example, we have 594 here. All right. So we will now take one more variation that's possible here. Something called as percent of total category. Now, in the original definition, we saw that it could be, the pricing could be based off all the products, in the deal or a subset of other products, right? So let's suppose the business has a requirement that we don't want the pricing of all the hardware products. We want it based off only the products that are tied to the category of PC, right? Which means we only want the monitor, CPU, keyboard, and mouse to be considered on the warranty product. We don't want the headphones to be considered. Okay, so when that is done, the warranty will then calculate its pricing only based off of all the products that have the PC category associated with it. How do we configure this in Salesforce CPQ? Now, again, by definition, this is used to limit the percent of total calculations to certain product categories. Okay, so on the warranty product, now we need to set the POT category to PC, indicating to the system that boss, go and select only those products that have the PC category for your pricing calculations. The next step is set POT category as PC on all the other products which should be considered for the warranty price calculation. So in our case, we should go set it out on CPU, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. So let's go ahead and do that. And once we do that, the warranty should total to 44 and we should see 584. Currently, we do not see that, right? So let's go ahead and make some changes. Right, we'll go to the warranty product. Okay, so in the percent of total, okay, there's this category here. So now I have added this category called PC. By default, I think you only have hardware and software. You could have any other categories added here as per the business requirements. But when we select PC here, go ahead and save this. Okay. For all the other products, I have already added the category as PC. So if we look at, let's say, mouse, in this case, we should have the category PC, percent of total category has already been added as PC. Okay, so now if I pull up the quote, we should basically be seeing a revised pricing. Once again, I will go ahead and remove the warranty product and add it once again so that the actual pricing is pulled. Okay, so now the price is $44, totaling to $584, which is what we saw on the PDF as well. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, leave a comment below and let me know what other topics you would like for me to cover. All right, so we saw percent of total category, right? The next, there could also be a requirement where, now, before we get to that, right, by default, at least in Salesforce CPQ, the subscription products here are excluded from POT calculations by default. So if you want to include a subscription product to be used for calculations in the percent of total calculations, we have to specifically set include in percent of total. We have to set it to true to be able to use that product for calculations. Likewise, one-time products are included by default. So if we do not want any of those one-time products to be included, we need to say exclude it specifically by selecting the exclude from POT calculations to true. Again, this is a pick list field on the products. So what we can do now is, all this while the mouse product is being used, this is a one-time product. So let's go ahead and select exclude from POT here, percent of total, so that this is not taken into consideration. And we will go ahead and select include in percent of total for antivirus software, which is a subscription product, $10 a month, right? And then we'll see what changes should happen. Just make a note of $823 and we will cross check if you are able to get to that. The warranty pricing should be $63. So first things first, we need to go ahead and add the antivirus. But before we do that, let's go ahead and make the changes. We'll go to the PC mouse product, make an edit, and we will specify to the system that its pricing should not be included in the percent of total calculation. So there should be a checkbox, exclude from percent of total calculation. So by specifically saying exclude, we are letting the system know that this product should not be considered for percent of total calculations. Okay, so this change is done. Let's also go to the antivirus software. Okay, so we have the antivirus software. Let's make sure that this product, we are selecting include in percent of total calculation. So that way, when we add this product to the code, it should be considered for POT calculations. Okay, where is this? There you go. It's already selected. Include in POT calculations, right? Percent of total. This is already selected. So which means I'll cancel out of this. So if I pull the quote again, let's do one thing. Because we made a change to the mouse object, we are going to remove that and add it once again. We will remove the warranty because we can reload it. And we will also add the antivirus. So we will add PC mouse once again, antivirus. And I think I have the Microsoft Office here. So I'll just add that to see if the numbers match, and then the warranty. Okay, it's good. Okay, we have 843. How much was it here? 823. Oh, okay. So here we have on the PC mouse, we have given a 40% discount, hence it's $20 lesser. So you have 823. And in our case, we haven't yet added the 40% discount after we reloaded the product. Hence it's at full price $50. So there's a $20 difference. But if you see the warranty amount, it's $63 as we had in our PDF. So essentially what's happening is now the PC mouse is not being considered for calculations, but antivirus software is now being considered because we have specifically instructed the system that it should be included for all the calculations. Again, as you are implementing this, there might be requirements where your customers may want to include SaaS products for percent of total calculation. So when that happens, then you need to configure the system accordingly. All right. The next topic we want to discuss is percent of total constraint. So here, it's possible. Let's say the warranty product itself, it will have a list price, right? We have set it to $50. Now, we can specify if there are any constraints. For example, we could instruct the system that the list price, which is $50 on the warranty product, should be the minimum. So even if the total of all the other products, if it totals to, let's say, $35, we should still at a minimum charge the customer $50 for the warranty product. Okay? Or when we set it to list price as maximum, if the total of all the other products exceeds $50, still we will charge the customer a maximum of $50 on the warranty product. So we can have these constraints on the various offerings. So in this example here, I have the monitor product, which is $200. So 10% of that should be $20. But when we set list price as minimum, the warranty is now $50. Okay. Likewise, if we have to, when we set the list price as maximum, and we have multiple products, the monitor, CPU, keyboard, headphones. Now this is $400, $500, $600. So 10% of that should be $60. But when you configure it in the system, the warranty will remain at $50 because we have said the list price is the maximum that we can charge for this product. Okay. So we will go ahead and try that now. So we'll take this example where we only have the monitor and the warranty product. I'll go ahead and remove all the other line items. Okay. Now, before I do that, what I also need to do, let me save this, is that on the warranty product, I need to go and have that setting changed. So we will go to the warranty product, edit, and see where we have the constraint, which is the field where we need to apply the constraint. So we should have a field here, category constraint, right? Currently there is no constraint, so it just takes whatever is the total and presents it. But here, if we go and set this as list price as minimum, in this case, go ahead and save this record. Now, on the quote, currently we should have only one line item, right? And let me go ahead and remove the warranty. So it's $200. So, or 16. So when you add a warranty, ideally it should have been $16 because 10% of 160 is 16. But when we add this warranty product, what we should be seeing in this case is it should be $50. Okay. So hence the total 210. Finally, we'll also make one more change here. We will go ahead and flip that constraint to state that $50 is going to be the maximum. So even if we add a lot more products, then the pricing for the warranty product will be capped at $50. We'll go ahead and change this to list price is maximum, and we'll save this record. Going back to the quote. Okay. All right, we only have the monitor product now, so we will go ahead and add additional products. So let's say we want to add the CPQ, keyboard, PC, mouse, phone, antivirus, MS Office, and warranty. So I've kind of added all the products. So even though we have added so many products, right, it's going to be what, $16. Oh, I did this twice. I don't know what this. Okay. Let me add the warranty once again, just to make sure. So the total here is what, $830. So it should be around $83. But because we have capped it at $50, the warranty should now stay at $50. Yay, $50, right? So I hope this is making sense. Again, depending on the requirements, any of these might come in handy for you. So these are all the possibilities that can be configured in Salesforce CPQ. Again, different CPQ systems might have different functionalities, but depending on the business requirements. Now, these are all very common business requirements that could come as part of your requirements elicitation process, right? So be sure to map it out with your CPQ system. All right, I hope that was of value to you. If you would like for me to cover any other topic related to Salesforce CPQ, let me know in the comments below, and I will try my best to cover that in my next video. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.